Joining us now, Brandon Arnold of the National Taxpayers Union. Brandon, it's so good to have you on. Thanks for spending time with us tonight. Okay, House Republicans on Ways and Means now say Democrats are blocking their probe into the IRS's sudden destruction of 30 million taxpayer documents last year. The Inspector General for Tax Administration found that out at the Treasury Department. The IRS is blaming a backlog mountain of paper. What is going on here?
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. They found this out back in May of last year, and people like Kevin Brady on the Hill, Mike Crapo, Senator, the head of the Finance Committee on the Republican side, have been hounding the IRS repeatedly, sending them letters, requesting information. There are huge taxpayer implications at stake here, and they've been absolutely stonewalled by the IRS. The IRS is not even turning over a memorandum because they say it might embarrass the agency, as if this agency could be even further embarrassed after all of its missteps over the past several years. It is infuriating.
So the IRS officials never testified in questions and testimony before Congress about the problems with its backlog. It never mentioned that they were doing this. What's the fallout for taxpayers here?
Well, right now there are big implications. We don't know because we have such little information about this. But there are questions about programmatic eligibility, things like the Earned Income Tax Credit, the Child Tax Credit. Are all taxpayers that are getting these credits getting the right amount? It's not clear because we don't know exactly what documents were destroyed. It's not even clear if this process was legal, if the IRS was legally allowed to do so. And again, Mr. Crapo, Mr. Brady have asked them, what is your legal justification for destroying these documents? And it's been crickets. Absolutely no response from the IRS.
But we're
again, this is so frustrating.
We're hearing tax pros are warning there's missing information returns, like 1099s. In other words, 1099 documents were also destroyed. Can that cause a mismatch at the IRS, delaying refunds or even triggering false reports taxpayers are underreporting income and trigger audits? I mean, can it go as far as that?
Yeah, and the irony here is this is the very problem that Democrats were citing when they said we need to give this agency $80 billion to conduct more audits. They were saying people were underreporting income. That is, in fact, the tax gap. They think that they can pay for all of these magical programs using the tax gap. Well, that's based on underreporting income. The way they reconcile those is they look after the filing season. They look at people's 1099 forms and reconcile that with other documents to make sure that the reporting matches up. Once you destroy these documents, they're gone.
Listen,
they're gone, so you can't go through that process.
I mean, having covered the IRS for 2 decades and testifying twice to Congress about IRS reforms and taxpayer rights, I mean, going through IRS offices throughout the country, repeatedly, when Congress neurotically fiddles with the IRS and changes tax laws, it's hard for IRS officials, right? The IRS systems are overloaded. They have online programming software programming problems. I mean, so the issue is this in any way going to hurt taxpayers with more IRS audits?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Look, right when Biden took office, he passed this American Rescue Plan Act. It was a horrible piece of legislation, $2 trillion. One of the small provisions in there was to give the IRS $1.5 billion to modernize its systems, to hire more people, to go out there and fix all of the frustrating problems when taxpayers are on the phone for an hour trying to get a simple response from the IRS. Right at that same time that they're getting all this additional funding, they decide they're just going to delete 30 million tax records. So the whole notion that they need more money. Do we know if there's backup?
Do we know if those records were backed up electronically? We don't know that,
there's
right?
No indication.
We don't know.
We don't know that. There's no indication that that was the case.
Got it, Brandon.
But we need to get to the bottom of it.
Got it. You're terrific, Brandon Arnold. You'll come back. We're 1 week away.